Today's question comes from Anthony in South Carolina. Our household income is $190,000 and our only debts are a $1,500 car loan and our mortgage. We have about 1.5 months income in our emergency fund. I want to accelerate building this up and save cash for a new car to replace the 11-year-old family car. My wife thinks we need to find a better credit card that offers points and rewards and pay it off every month. A friend of hers pays for all of their family vacations this way, and she thinks we are, quote, missing out on the benefits. Even if the math works, and this is true, the human behavior component is too big a factor to ignore, and I don't want to entertain this. How can I convince her that we will serve our finances better by avoiding this? We do well enough financially that we should be avoiding any new debt altogether and building wealth, not gaming credit card companies for vacations. A lot of wisdom here from Anthony. He gets it.
I don't even know that there's a question here.
Well, the question is, how do I convince my wife? She is not on board with this plan.
So do you have, like you did an episode of this on your show, do you have a 2 or 3 bullet points that you can pass along to a friend? When somebody asks me this, like, they find out I work here and they're like, all right, bro, but seriously, like, come on, bro. The thing I always go back to is I love Southwest. I fly Southwest whenever I can. They are not my friend. They are not looking out for me. They are trying to run a business that makes a bunch of money. And so when they hand me something that they say is for free, I have to instinctively know it's not. This is costing somebody something, whether it's those who have struggled with behavior issues, and that's me. Whenever somebody gives me free points for this free, they're not doing that because they're altruistic, right? That's always my default. Like, there's going to come out in the wash somewhere, the cost here.
So on the credit card rewards episode we did on the Fine Print, the podcast that you're talking about, I interviewed an ex-employee at Capital One.
Okay.
And she told me they run thousands and thousands of experiments on humans to figure out what's going to get them to spend more.
Right.
And so what they found is, hey, instead of it being cash back, we should make it points. Because then you go, I have 100,000 points.
I'm winning.
Oh, that's $100. Whoops. And, I can only use it on these certain dates and these certain flights, and I can only go to Boise in July.
Right.
And so there's all kinds of stipulations with points. Shout out to Boise. Love you guys. Big fan.
Boise.
But there's always going to be a trap, and if you think you're winning, that's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
They want you to think, man, I'm really sticking it to them. I'm making so much money off of American Express and Discover Card. And what I found is you are the best cashback program that exists. When you do a budget, when you get out of debt and you stay out of debt, you can fund your own trips without having to hope that you have enough points and that you did the offer at the right time and that you spent enough money to hit the reward incentive program. Goodness, that's exhausting. What a tiring way to live, to keep up like that. So, one thing I would tell you, Anthony, listen together to that episode of The Fine Print on credit card rewards, and we equated it to Chuck E. Cheese. You go in with $10, you get some coins, you have some fun playing the games, you get 45 tickets, and you think, man, we really crushed it. And then you go and you get a sticky hand, because that's all you can afford.
And that sticky hand costs you $10.
You can't afford the boom box up on the top shelf.
That's $7,000 to earn enough tickets to get the boom box.
And so you're not going to win from this. And like you're saying, John, it does come down to behavior. It comes down to who is benefiting from this and who is the one paying for these rewards. Is it the single mom who can't afford to pay her credit card bill, so she's stuck with interest and fees that funded my vacation? Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it a broken system and a toxic money culture and company that's funding this? I don't want that either.
That's the part that got me is ultimately when I lived with a credit card that had points, I was super diligent, right? I was paranoid about getting back into debt, so I was super diligent. This is before I came here. And when it occurred to me, if they're not making money specifically off me, it's somebody on the margins who has been sucked into this deal to try to make rent, to try to feed their kids. And they're funding my quote-unquote free vacation. And I couldn't sleep with that. I want out of that game completely, right? I want all hooks out of that system. I don't want to contribute to somebody else hurting. I'm just going to pay for my own vacations, man.
Well, and here's the hilarious part. They make $190,000. If you can't save up for a $10,000 car, you suck at money management.
Yeah, there's some serious issues in
your
life.
You can never out-earn your stupidity at that point.
Right. If you have a $1,500 car loan, Pay it off yesterday.
With the emergency fund, you guys are doing things out of order here. I think if you did it in order, you'd feel the progress, you'd feel the momentum, and then you go, all right, the car loan's paid off, let's rebuild this emergency fund, we have financial peace, we have a foundation. Now the world is our oyster. We can save up and pay for that vacation. We can get the new car 3 months from now, but we need some delayed gratification.
1 month from now with $190K,
Yeah.
right? You can do that real quick. So
it's a great question, though. It's hard to get spouses to come together and agree on something like this. So that's why Financial Peace University is so powerful. It gives us common language, shared goals, and we go, all right, it's not just me against you now. It's, oh, millions of people have done it this way, and that works. Maybe let's listen to that.
So I had a guy named Dr. Lane Norton on my show the other day talking about exercise, and I kept, he's one of the best in the world when it comes to nutrition and exercise. Ultimately, he passed along the same wisdom that I've heard over and over, which is there's so many gadgets, there's so many late night things, there's so many Curtis Ray's out in the world. There's so many people selling you a hack to a thing, and it's like, what's the best workout I can do? The one you'll just do every day. The one you'll just be consistent with 3 times a week, 5 times a week, 6 times, whatever the thing is, just be consistent. And if you can't show up and do 5 reps of do 3, right? Show up and keep showing up, and over time, you'll be fine. And that same principle works here. I think we get so out of whack, and what's the this and the that. Stop playing games. Just be consistent over time. Don't get in bed with some of these people that are hurting other people. Just make it consistent. Make it simple and just keep going, right? Yeah. And that's money. That's fitness. That's your mental health. That's relationships. That's conversations with your spouse. It's just the same principles. Be consistent and just show up and show up.